How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful LMG DPS setup that you guys can be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need to teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about what role every card plays in the deck and just everything like that. Now, as far as the general game plan that you guys are going to be wanting to do with this deck, this whole deck is based around admin reload, which says when we stow our weapon, it is going to reload. So what you guys are going to want to be doing is whenever you guys are going to need to reload your LMG, instead just switch and pull out your secondary weapon, and by the time you need to reload with your secondary weapon, your LMG is most likely going to be automatically reloaded, and that is a lot more convenient than having to take yourself completely out of the action to reload your gun, or at best just, meleeing some zombies to keep yourself in the action while you're reloading. This is going to make it so you can deliver a consistent line of damage just no matter what. Like, you should always be shooting no matter what. Now, the first card of the deck is obviously admin reload because it is the build around for the deck, but moving on to the actual first category of cards that we have in the deck is going to be weak spot damage. And to start this category off, we have hyper focused, which is going to give us plus 50% weak spot damage and minus 40% move speed while shooting or melee attacking as the downside. Up next, we got reckless strategy, which is going to give us plus 30% weak spot damage and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. And to round this category off, we have front sight focus, which is going to give us plus 20% accuracy and plus 10% weak spot damage and plus 15% aim speed and recoil control. Now, as far as why you guys want to play these weak spot cards specifically, I did feel like playing the least amount of weak spot cards and getting the most amount of percentage is where you wanted to be in this deck specifically. Usually, I don't mind, playing weaker percentage cards in like these categories if they can accrue us extra value, but there's a lot of other things that we have to hit in this deck, like, reload speed, weapon swap speed, there's a lot of other things that we have to hit. I just think taking up the least amount of card slots to get the most amount of weak spot damage is where you guys want to be with this deck. Now, with that being said, I am still playing front sight focus, which is going to give us extra value outside of just, weak spot damage, which, that's something I really like to do in all of my decks. Is I don't like to have all of my categories just be super linear and only do one thing, so I'm playing front sight focus for that reason. Now, moving on to the next category, which is just going to be our base damage, and to start this category off, we have fill and full lead, which says when shooting, we gain 1% damage, 1% fire rate, and plus 5% swap speed for every 0.25 seconds with a max count of 20. Up next, we got Shredder, which says each bullet hit causes the target to take 1% increased damage for 3 seconds, stacking up to 15%. Up next, we got Patient Hunter, which says every 0.75 seconds we aim down sights, it increases our bullet damage by 10%, up to 3 stacks. And to round this category off, we have Glass Cannon, which is going to give us plus 25% damage and minus 30% of our health as the downside. Now, the reason that you are going to want to play these base damage cards specifically is because Shredder, Patient Hunter, and Glass Cannon are just the 3 strongest damage cards in the game, in my opinion. I don't think that you're going to get more base damage out of a single card, other than these 3. And as far as fill and full lead goes, LMGs obviously have a very large magazine, which is going to let you shoot a lot longer than what a lot of other gun classes are going to let you do. And that's obviously going to make this card proc even more, which is just going to make this card absolutely insane in this deck. And this card was actually the reason I was okay with cutting weak spot damage, because of the extra damage and fire rate that we're going to be getting that, most of the decks that we play usually don't have, because most of the decks that we play only have Shredder, Patient Hunter, and Glass Cannon. But this one also has fill and full lead, which is going to make it so we can just kill stuff even faster, even if we don't hit the weak spots. Now, moving on to the next category in the deck is going to be reload speed and weapon swap speed. And the reason that they're the same category in this deck is because, they work together, but they're not the same thing in this deck. Weapon swap speed is just how fast you move your weapon back and forth. That has nothing to do with how fast admin reload actually procs. Now, what does affect admin reload is your reload speed. So if you have, a faster reload speed, or you have cards that give you reload speed, admin reload is going to proc and reload your LMG faster than if you had no additional help with the reload speed. So to start off this category, we have reload drills, which is going to give us plus 20% reload speed and plus 25% weapon swap speed. Up next, we got Cold Brew Coffee, which is going to give us plus 15% reload speed and plus 25% aim speed, weapon swap speed, and use speed. Up next, we got Energy Drink, which is going to give us plus 15% stamina and plus 25% weapon swap speed, 15% move speed while we're firing, and plus 10% slow resistance. And to round this category off, we got Shooting Gloves, which is going to give us plus 25% weapon swap speed and plus 15% recoil control and accuracy. Now, the reason that you want to play these cards specifically is because when you add up the weapon swap speed from all of these cards, it's going to give us plus 100% weapon swap speed, which you don't want to go over 100% weapon swap speed, or else it's going to start negatively affecting you. And the outside value that we get outside of just how fast we can, swap our weapons and proc admin reload is absolutely unmatched. Like, I just don't think that it would be smarter to play other cards like Guns Out and Cocky, just like these linear cards, over these ones. Because you look at a card like Reload Drills, this card's pulling double duty because it gives us reload speed and weapon swap speed, which both make admin reload just that much better. And when you look at cards like Cold Brew Coffee and Energy Drink, they both just provide so much extra value that it's like not even worth getting all the weapon swap speed that we're going to need out of like just one card. Because if you look at a card like Cold Brew Coffee, it's going to give us extra reload speed, which we've already went over and is fantastic in this deck, and it also gives us aim speed and use speed. Aim speed is very good for LMGs because they have a very slow ADS by default, and use speed obviously isn't the most useful thing in the world, but the fact that it is just tacked on there for no downside is what makes this card really over the top in this deck. And moving on to Energy Drink, the only really all-star ability that we have on this card outside of the weapon swap speed obviously is the fact that we get positive move speed while we're firing. We get plus 15% move speed while we're firing, and that is because we have hyper focused in this deck, which gives us minus 40% move speed while we're shooting or melee attacking. Now, usually I play a card like Hellfire in this deck or something to this effect, which is going to take off the downside of hyper focused, but because we're playing Energy Drink and we're playing high vis sights in this deck, which is also going to give us a movement buff while we're shooting, I felt like it just wasn't needed in this deck. And I mean, it just makes Energy Drink a really integral piece of this deck. And Shooting Gloves is just a really good value card because getting extra recoil control and accuracy, that's always great, but it gets even better in the fill 'em full lead deck that wants to just shoot for however long straight until we just run out of bullets. Now, these last three cards don't really have like a specific category. They're just really good value cards for this deck. And to start it off, we have Ammo Mule, which is going to give us plus 75% ammo capacity and minus 5% move speed as the downside. Now, I feel like this card's in here for obvious reasons. LMGs obviously just go through a monstrous amount of ammo, but if you did want to make a switch that isn't Ammo Mule, you could play Ammo Belt, which does give you less ammo capacity, but it does give you reload speed, which is going to proc admin reload just that much faster. Now, the reason I chose to play Ammo Mule over Ammo Belt is because I never felt like the, actual time it took to reload my LMG was the problem. I just kept running out of ammo. But if you guys are having the opposite problem and you guys are just having way too much ammo or just, more than what you guys are ever going to need, feel free to play Ammo Belt because it is the more synergistic card in the deck, but I do feel like this is the more powerful card in the deck. Up next, we got High Vis Sights, which is going to give us plus 30% aim speed, plus 15% move speed while we're ADSing, and plus 15% move speed while we're firing. Now, again, like I was saying with Cold Brew Coffee, LMGs don't really have the fastest aim speed by default, and they really do need just like that slight buffer to give them the edge that they need. And I didn't think we had to go like overboard and play like a card that's just going to give us an absurd amount of aim speed with a downside, or playing multiple cards that give us aim speed. I just felt like playing one card for aim speed was more than enough. And the last card of this deck is going to be Empowered Assault, which says after we kill a mutation, the next time we damage a mutation, it is guaranteed to cause them to stumble. And this card also has a team effect, giving us plus 5% team stumble damage. Now, this card is very similar to Heavy Hitter in the melee decks, which says melee hits always stumble the ridden the first time they are hit. And this card is just as powerful in this deck as Heavy Hitter is in the melee decks. And Heavy Hitter is one of, if not the best card in the entire deck. Now, the reason that this is so good is because, I mean, we're obviously going to be killing Special Infected, but after we kill our first Special Infected, we're going to stumble them the first time we damage them, which is going to be by shooting them. And I really feel like most of the time, by the time that they are done with their stumble animation, if they are not just completely obliterated and dead already, like, they're about a half a second away from being dead and obliterated. Like, no Special Infected just stands a chance. And especially when you take into account, like, what all is actually coming at them, because the first bolt that hits them is going to stumble them, and we have Fill 'em Full Lead, Shredder, Patient Hunter, and Glass Cannon all going at the same time. And if we happen to be hitting them in their weak spots, we have Hyper Focus, Reckless Strategy, and Front Sight Focus all going into effect. So even the strongest HP special infected outside of bosses like hags and, you know, stuff like that, but like just tall boys, bruisers, like those guys are all gonna fall with absolute ease, and it's all because of this card. I think this card is just really strong in this deck.
Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make, and as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.